Hey guys, can everybody hear me okay? So, how was your morning? I think you know how things were going in my household. Thank goodness everything is turning out okay. Thank goodness. I actually got a text from Muscles and Mascara. I didn't know until last night she has been in the hospital. She broke out. She broke out of the hospital. Now, if you didn't hear, my husband had a very unfortunate accident this morning. By the grace of God, he's alive. He is alive. And well, you know how men are. He needs to be home, but he's sorting out with the aftermath of what you see on the screen. And once he gets all of this taken care of, he'll be home. If I was him, I would just leave it be and be home. But that's my plight in life right now. Would you not just I'd be milking it. I'd be milking it. That'd be me. That would be me. Bob said, get well, Muscles and Mascara. Yep. Yep. Tiffany said he won't do it. He should be in chat. Yeah, thank God he is okay. It's days like today that you realize who your real friends are. You realize anything can be replaced. People cannot. And if you don't believe in a higher power, look at that. Just look at that on the screen. Because you talk about a scary, scary morning. Is Muscles in here? She said she was going to come in and tell everybody hi. You know, after you've been in the hospital for what she was in for, they give you the good stuff. So she might be doing exactly what I would be doing, and that is soaking it up. Laying on the couch, getting waited on hand and foot is what I would be doing. That's what I would be doing for sure. There was a comment I just missed. Hello, Leo. Hello, Search and Rescue Canine Mom. Speaking of dogs, Mama K's in here trying to give everybody a beagle. I got to look at that beagle. Hello, Lisa Martinez. Lisa Martinez actually got her merch in the mail yesterday. She was excited about that. And I was too, because you never know about the post office. Hello, Katie Bird. Exactly where summer. God is good. God is good. Hello, Mel O. JPL, yes. Muscles and Mascara jailbroke out of the hospital. And she was in the same hospital that Grandis went to get her knee shot full of cortisone. Fun fact, that's exactly where she was. Hello, Kamari. Fed Up, Emily Potts made it in. Jinbug made it in. True Crime with Shannon. I was going to do a members only live this afternoon. That's how I was going to do it. But it's like if I don't give 24 hours notice, then I'm just sitting there talking to myself. Kind of like the good old days when, not the good old days, but when the channel first started. There were shows, it was like literally me, Kane, and Susan, just me. It'd be like the three of us in there just listening to me banter on. My, how times have changed. It is crazy. It is crazy. What is JPL doing? JPL on the scene. What are you doing?
Thinking of you.
Well, I'm right here, honey bun. Don't be thinking of me. You need to be thinking of my hubby. It's a wonder he's alive.
Yeah, no kidding. That looked so frightening. What was in his cargo?
You know what? Honestly, I don't know, but not anything flammable. It was a
The
mouth.
tire, you said.
Yeah, oh yeah, it caught on fire. Had he not had the wherewithal to disconnect and get away from it,
Mm-hmm.
then it would have gone boom. Uh-oh. Then it would have gone boom. Hello, Connie. We lost JPL. Connie's in. Connie's in. Connie made it in. All right, everybody, on with the show. On with the show. So, where are we in the case of Anna? It's one update after another. After another, and every damn thing I hear about this case makes me absolutely sick. Brain, because I'm not going to insult anyone named Brian. We have Bushy in the Idaho case. Brain is all I can come up with because this dude has no brain. He is the epitome of entitlement. I really, in a way, think that there was pictures of her on Instagram not wearing her wedding ring. I wouldn't be surprised with all of his foolishness and craziness, selfishness, that she might have been the first person to tell him no. And maybe kind of like Jennifer Doulos, start limiting his funds. I don't know. I don't know, but something went way wrong after New Year's Eve because, as we saw on the last show about Anna, they had a elaborate meal, as the friend said. An elaborate meal. Thank you for the super sticker, Ryan. She said his name should be Scarecrow if he only had a brain. Uh-huh. He is horrible. So, as we heard the friend saying, he said we had an elaborate meal. Nothing seemed odd. No tension in the air. This guy is choking back tears the whole 9 yards. Whereas Brain decided to forget that he was under a federal hold to keep his ass home. He's not even supposed to go past the mailbox. But we know he had other things he needed to do, right? He had a mess to clean up. And with all the holiday cleanup and everything, he had a 115-pound woman in his way. He Googled how to get rid of a 115-pound woman. Not what do I do with my Christmas tree after the holidays. Not looking for people to help him take down Christmas lights. Where to donate old toys, anything like that normal ass people do after the holidays. How do I get rid of a 115-pound woman? His exact search. I still say I can't believe he didn't get more specific, as if that's not specific enough. And go ahead and just type it out. How do I, Brian Walsh, get rid of my wife, Ana Walshe, who is 115 pounds? Brown hair, works in Washington, D.C., is supposed to fly out on January 3rd. I really don't know why he didn't make up a story for the employers. She's sick. She's in bed. I'll have her call you when she gets up. Something like that. I think he got real twisted up in his own head, his own anxiety. I don't think the guilt did it. I don't think it was the guilt. I think it's just his own stupidity. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. You're exactly right. You're exactly right, just me. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. Hello, Brandy. How are you doing, love? Brandy came in to say hi and chat with us. Let's all give a big hug, as always, to Brandy Neal. He's sloppy. He's disgusting. Like I said, he is the epitome of entitlement. A lot of people have asked about life insurance. I'm sure she has a really good job. I'm sure there's some life insurance there. Hanging out there for Brain. He's not going to get it now. Some people have said with all his shady deals, Anna had to have known. I don't know if she did or she didn't. I know that that 115-pound woman isn't around here to defend herself, though. That's kind of an afterthought to me right now. Let's get to some comments and let's get caught up because I'm telling you, with this case, if you look away for 2 seconds, you're behind. You are behind. It's one thing after another, and it all circulates around this sack of shit brain. It all circulates around him because, well, he is the doer of bad deeds. He is the one. All right, Lisa Durr. Now she's talking about the news clip I put up where the guy who had been at their house for New Year's Eve was talking about how Brain had made the elaborate meal and nothing seemed to be going on. Lisa Durr seems to think that Brain had all this planned because she said the big dummy made that big meal and made it look like everything was great because he knew that guest would eventually be interviewed. Let me ask all of you, do you think this was pre-planned or do you think this was a heat of the moment argument? Pre-planned or heat of the moment? Do, 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 do. I need the Jeopardy music. Namaste said Anna was defending Brian a lot like she was part of the deals he made. Maybe he is so confident, he's always smiling, Maybe he is so confident because it's one of the people he ripped off. Well, if it wasn't for, this is just me, if it wasn't for the $450 trip to Home Depot and all the running around he did, he rang in the new year in a totally different way, then I would think that somebody else could be responsible. I really do. Jay Bird said, Brian doesn't look like the type of guy to kill and clean up. The kids are home and would see something. I believe he is guilty but has an accomplice. Several people do. Now, while he does look extremely lazy to me, and let's face it, even though he went and bought almost $500 in mops, buckets, tape, drop cloths, Windex, bleach, and ammonia, we do know he is extremely lazy and he couldn't have had an accomplice because, well, the cleanup didn't do the job. When they got the warrant to come in the house, because before, Brain would not let them in the house. Even though his wife is missing, he would not let them in the house to look for her or gather evidence as they needed to do. They found blood in the basement and a bloody knife that was damaged. Sox fan said the first dump site that the authorities went to had already incinerated, and that is bad news for Anna because now there won't be a body. I saw that on the news as well, that the first garbage facility hold site they went to had already incinerated. It had already incinerated. Makes me sick. I don't know anything about Massachusetts laws because I don't live there. Does anybody know, do you have to have a body for murder charges? Do you have to have a body for first-degree murder charges? Let me ask it that way. I could see second degree, I could see manslaughter, but does anybody know? I know we have some Northeast people in here, you might know. It's absolutely disgusting. Let's see if JPL is reconnected. JPL,
Yep.
are you connected now?
I'm here.
Good deal.
I'm here. Can you see me? Hello.
I see you. Look at beautiful JPL. Hi, JPL.
Hey, girl.
Well, you were up here and then you popped off, then you popped back on, and then
I know.
it showed that you weren't connected. So, what do you
Well,
think
I
about
was trying.
this case with Anna and her husband?
God, it sounds like a Jennifer Dulos part two.
It does. It
I
does.
swear it's creepy, but she's very, very beautiful and successful. And
Everything he's not.
exactly, he is like a toad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ugh, brain. I crack up at that.
Brain.
That's
Mama
the
B
best.
said body isn't required in most jurisdictions. It's a DA preference. And I think that's pretty much how it goes everywhere because
I,
some DAs will not touch it without a body.
yep, I would agree. Or they have to have something just really concrete, like blood.
On the
DNA.
concrete in the basement?
Yeah, those kind of things. You know, he's got a heavy load on him, and I wanted to just slap that smirk right off of his face in
Mm-hmm.
court. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Just gross.
So, do you think this was pre planned, or do you think they had a knockdown, drag out argument after the elaborate meal and it was heat of the moment, heat of passion, and he did the unthinkable?
It could be a Barry Morphew kind of thing too, where they had a big fight over something.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it was his fraud, all the other stuff. And didn't you say he had an ankle monitoring device on him at that time?
He did. He's on a federal house arrest awaiting sentencing for art fraud.
Okay, well, he can't drink, right? I don't know. Can they drink alcohol?
I don't know.
Okay, because I think there was it looked like a bottle with writing on it, unless it was just a piece of paper that she wrote on something. I saw something like that where she wrote on a piece of paper and his friend or somebody wrote on the other side for New Year's.
I did
For New
not
Year's.
see that. I did not see that. I was really wondering. I watched a clip on CBS Boston because they were saying, what's the good of house arrest if he was allowed to leave? And basically, it's on the level of people they have to monitor, he would be so low level because of what he was being held for. I mean, he ripped off these Korean guys saying that it was Andy Warhol paintings, and it's not, from what I understand.
Right, right. Yeah, that ankle thing is quite the little toy because it's not monitoring when it should be monitoring. I mean, something should go off or something.
Oh, they knew
Hell,
he
maybe,
they,
you
they
know,
knew he was out and about, and you can leave. You just have to ask for permission. Well, he left and didn't ask for permission. Jen said it was champagne. I did not see that.
okay, it was a champagne bottle or something that was written around. Okay, so I'm wondering if he was drinking. They had a big, huge fight. She could have been drinking a lot and said, I'm on to you. I know what you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's kind of what I see.
You're going to jail. Even your
Yeah.
parents said you should have never been born. I've had it with you. You're spending all my money.
Yeah. What'd you do to your dad? Yeah.
Mhm. You've gotten us in all these problems. It's turned out now in the last couple of days, they said that Anna wasn't really acting herself. She was very abrasive with people, which I'm sure is from the stress that she was under. And they
Right.
were in the process of selling off a lot of assets.
God, that's so sad. It is so sad. Why do these people have to choose this versus I don't care? Move on. Uh, think of your kids first. If you got them there, think of them first and foremost.
Yep.
But these. I just don't get it. I just don't understand these men and women that can take these lives and just think that they're disposable. They're not going to get caught for it. And this guy is dumber than he is dumber than a rock.
He is. This is him out and about. New Year's Day, I believe. I think they said this. No, yeah, the day after. So it's January 2nd, I guess. I still want to know who was the family member that is the proof of life witness that she was alive the morning of New Year's Day. I mean,
Exactly.
several people saw her New Year's Eve, so we know, but I'm just wondering, is it him? Is it one of the kids? Because I mean, I don't think that she has been gone longer because they had the elaborate meal on New Year's Eve. But I do
Well,
wonder who's the family member that can vouch that she was alive at 4 in the morning.
let me ask you, how old are her children?
2, 4, and 6, I believe, and I am heartbroken over
Oh,
those little boys.
2, 4, and 6, and they're all boys.
All boys.
Oh my.
I put a video on the channel last night. They're in state care.
Oh, good.
Um,
Until they can. Ugh.
I'm hoping one of her friends are. She has a lot of friends that are very devastated, and I'm hoping that one of the friends can adopt these 3 little boys.
Yeah, step up if you've got the means. The other, maybe another child that some tie to those kids that they feel as though they're not afraid because they're already going through a lot right now. So if you can find somebody that can give them some security and, you know, the better. I mean, that's hard. She's got, oh my God, those
3
little
little
kids.
boys. I just can't believe that. Well,
No.
this is dipshit running around, like I said, the day after at the juice bar. You're gonna love this, JPL. Now,
Oh
you
no.
guys know how I was not really impressed with the voicemail he left looking for Anna. I'm less impressed with his appearance at the juice bar.
Family's home after spending days here, and new clues continue to emerge tonight in this mysterious case. Video of Brian Walsh at a Norwell juice bar the day after police say his wife Ana was last seen. Investigators say he told them about the stop, but misled them about other travels, including a $450 cash purchase of cleaning supplies at Home Depot.
You can't think that someone is misleading you unless you have a sense of what the truth really is.
Investigators could be getting closer to the truth. 5 Investigates has learned that the search of a trash facility on the North Shore near his mother's home uncovered a rug with blood on it, along with a hacksaw similar to this. They also say a knife and blood were found in the basement of the family's Cohasset home.
If you imagine like a big jigsaw puzzle, there's lots of different pieces that have to get put into place before you can step back and see the photo and the picture that gets created.
News Center 5 legal analyst Vince DeMoore says gathering evidence can be painstaking. Right now, Walsh is only charged with misleading investigators.
When you see that smile, you go, I didn't really know Brian the way I thought I did.
The evolution of the case has troubled friends like Rick Weber, who's known the family for years.
Did I miss something? Were there signals? Did any of Brian's behavior strike me in any way as off key? Nothing.
Investigators have also visited a trash facility near the Cape as they continue to look for clues. But as the days go by, friends of the couple are growing discouraged and disillusioned as they learn more details.
This guy could have run for Congress and you would vote for him. That's how nice and charismatic he was.
Now, investigators say that any items recovered at that trash facility up on the North Shore will now be tested to see if they are connected to this case. We're live in Cohasset tonight. John Atwater, WCVB News Center 5.
All right, John. Thank you for that.
He is such an and everybody who has spoken about him, they say he's a sociopath, that he was actually diagnosed as a sociopath. It really doesn't shock me. Everyone that speaks about him says, well, like that guy said, he could run for Congress. Everybody liked him. Like Jinbug is saying, he's a con artist. He's a con man.
His own father called him a sociopath. His own father.
Uh-huh.
So that's not surprising. His own father called him this.
Well, I think he picked the wrong path. It's psychopath. Not just socio. It's pathological. It's psychopath.
I'm sure he thought that too. I'm sure he did. What I am, excuse me, what I am concerned about is that trash facility. Wow. What a treasure trove. A rug. They found a full rug. Hacksaw. I mean, dude, you're just a
And this is after the $450 to Home Depot where he bought buckets, mops, bleach, ammonia, Ajax, drop cloths, tarp, and various types of tape. And he used cash, but never mind, he's on camera all over the store.
Well, the cash is because he doesn't want a record, but he's still stupid because his stupid monitor's on and they're cameras. The other thing is I hope to God they cut out the concrete for evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Cut it out instead of just testing it. Take all of it so that you can show it in trial after you've tested it.
Yep. Because that'd be quite something to show a jury. Kind of like in the Lacey Peterson case when they showed the jury Scott's boat.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I wish they would have done this with John Bonet. Mm-hmm. Are you kidding? This would have been priceless if they could cut out that absolute area of where her body was, the concrete. Cut it out. Mm-hmm. And use that,
Lisa Durr says, I feel he killed her because he used up all the money and she found out. I think it reminds me of Jennifer Dulos when she was on to her husband, what he was doing, and she started reeling in the money. You're not getting any more money. He didn't really care so much about having, of course, filing for divorce, taking the kids to her mom's house in New York, but the money got him. Now, I don't know I don't know if this guy had an Amazon habit or what was going on because he can't even leave the house.
Well, what's interesting is that she probably was paying, well, we know, she was paying for all of his legal fees. And his, that's a lot of money because you're looking at, he's, I know, only arrested for, the fraud, but legal fees are expensive. I don't care what you're there for.
Hell yeah, they are. But weren't his parents helping too? His parents had gotten him out of a lot of binds. Not to mention a friend of his in college loaned him $500,000. He never even bought him a cheeseburger afterward to pay him back.
No way.
Yep, $500,000.
Oh my God. I didn't know that. What a dirtbag.
And don't forget, they found the rug, the hatchet, the hacksaw, whatever you want to call it, all of these things in this holding facility. Now they have him on tape at a dumpster by his mom's house, but yet he said he got lost. He got driving to mommy's house.
Oh my God, Mr. Magoo driving to mom's house and just happened to get rid of stuff over at her house.
Let's look at this clip. This just came out like 2 hours ago.
The name of God is beside that.
Got lost, and it really scares me that he's right on the ocean. Now they said that they incinerated, but people said that it's not like they incinerate, but it's still going to leave bones and stuff. Most people believe he has put her in the ocean because let's face it, $450, that's a lot of mop buckets. I have a feeling he had some other things.
Well, remember, there was a case a long time ago with the lady in Chesapeake Bay.
I forgot.
And it had a luggage.
Wonder if there's any luggage missing. Wonder if there's any luggage missing.
I know.
Copper Petals. I love that name. Welcome to the channel. Copper Petals says Anna was wearing Jimmy Choo's and Hermes bag. Just one Hermes bag she had was worth $40,000.
You got it. If it was real.
And yep, Diane. Anna was everything he was not. She's probably like, what on earth am I doing supporting you?
Yeah. Yeah. You. And I'm sure maybe that had a lot to do with that night.
Something went down that night. Something went down that. Well, something went down. I can't. I'm back and forth. Did he plan this for that night, or was it a heat of the moment argument, and he went? Well, we know he went way too far and got lost on his way to his mom's house.
Boston 25 News reporter Bob Ward in Cohasset. And Bob, you just learned police have a key new piece of evidence.
Well, it's really interesting on the investigative front. It's been kind of slow, right? But state police are still gathering evidence. They're waiting for a test result to come back from the crime lab before they take the next step. But we confirmed that state police are now in possession of video surveillance of Brian Walshe outside a dumpster in Swampscott near a liquor store, near a Whole Foods. That's the area where he said he was on January 1st, which is the day that Ana Walshe disappeared. So very interesting development there about the existence of this video surveillance of Brian Walshe near that dumpster. Meanwhile, out here in Cohasset, where Brian and Ana Walshe live, people here in this town are trying to come to terms with this disturbing case.
The cozy South Shore town of Cohasset is the kind of place outsiders might consider a New England seaside town would look like. But the mystery over Ana Walshe's disappearance and the arrest of her admitted conman husband, Brian Walshe, on a charge of lying to investigators is giving outsiders a different glimpse of Cohasset. And people here don't like it.
Totally unexpected. You know, I've been here my entire life, 52 years, and haven't seen anything like this before, so it's quite a shock.
For nearly a full week, the Massachusetts State Police have been a constant, unsettling presence in Cohasset. They recently wrapped up a search of the family's rented home on Chief Justice Cushing Highway, as well as a massive search of woods in and around town. And then there was the fire Friday at the Walshes' previous home on Jerusalem Road that authorities say is not related to Ana's disappearance. All of it, a lot to process for this town of less than 9,000 residents.
It leaves you speechless, really. I can't wrap my brain around it.
At the heart of this is Ana Walshe herself. She's still missing. And after a week of heart-stopping headlines about hacksaws, transfer stations, internet searches, and a husband held on high bail, people here are unnerved and thinking about the secrets their neighbors keep.
It wasn't about the money for her, I don't think, because she was the breadwinner. But there are people, I guess, you never know what your next-door neighbor is capable of.
Meanwhile, across the ocean, in Ana's native country of Serbia, concern grows. The Serbian consulate writing, "We had a pleasure of meeting Ana in person, and we remember her as a lovely lady. Her disappearance has been a cause of a great concern for the Serbian community in the U.S., as well as for people back home."
Now, there's one more member of the Walshe family that we have not heard about, and that is the family dog. Brian and Ana Walshe own a purebred German Shepherd. That dog is now homeless. Now, there is kind of a happy ending, I guess you could call it, to the story, and that is that dog has been sent to the animal control shelter over in Braintree. and is now in foster care. And the foster parents are a state police trooper who is not connected to this case and his family. So they're taking care of that dog at night. I'm told the dog has a great demeanor, answers commands in German. And the troopers and the detectives that were working this case over the weekend, they just kind of fell in love with the dog. And they wanted to make sure that the Walsh dog was taken care of. So at least a moment of a bright spot, I guess you would say, in this tragedy that's been unfolding here in Cohasset, that the family dog at least is being taken care of. Reporting live from Cohasset tonight, I'm Bob Ward for your local station, Boston 25 News.
I wish the trooper and his wife could adopt the 3 boys too, so they could have their puppy dog. The dog answers commands in German. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
The minute they mentioned dog, I was like, nope, I'm not going to talk about the dog. I'm not going to talk about the dog, but here we are. I wish that dog would have torn Brian up. Lucky Shooter, welcome to the channel, said, I hope they tested the wine glass. Think about that. What if he did something to knock her out?
Yeah.
Because
True.
if it was a knockdown drag out, I would think the 3 little boys would have woke up. There's
That
3 little boys at home.
good point. That's a good point. There are 3 boys at home.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he took her outside.
Nope, this was done in the basement. There's blood in the basement floor. I guess there was a rug in the basement, or maybe he took the rug down there, but we know they found a rug. He also Googled how to dismember.
But I'm wondering if somehow he got her outside. I don't know why. I keep thinking this. I have this weird feeling. And then he brought her inside to do what he did.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big house, exactly. So people are not going to be waking up. Maybe the children were just conked out. So it would have been after, I don't know what time they're saying between this time and when he, on the 1st, are they saying? I don't understand between what time and what time. Do they have a timeline?
They don't, because they don't have her. From what I understand, she was seen by a family member. I think they said 4 a.m. New Year's Day. Now, we can't depend on Brain to be the family member. I wonder if it's not one of the little boys.
I don't know. That would be interesting if it was a child. But who else was there that night, and what time did they leave?
From what
did
I
the
understand,
children home? Maybe they had a party or they did some stuff, and then they had a babysitter, and then the kids came home. I mean,
well,
I don't know.
This is a family member. They did have a little party the night before, because he fixed the elaborate meal, but all those people went home. I just can't get it out of my mind that one of the little boys saw their mama.
Oh boy. That would be hard. That's a
Lisa Durr said the family member who saw her at 4 a.m. was the big dummy.
I don't know if it's got to be somebody else. Maybe somebody else. I think it's creepy about the mom.
Now, I mean, let's say it's the 6-year-old. I don't think a 6-year-old is going to say, well, I checked the clock because I wanted to make sure I wasn't late for my Zoom meeting. But they do say that the family member saw her at 4 a.m.
I wonder if somebody that was at that party actually stayed because they were too inebriated and they just were on the sofa or
Could be. Then it makes
yes,
you wonder when all of this happened, because she was not on social media, but there was a ping. Her phone was used on January 2nd as well. But I just don't see Ana Not that I know Anna. I don't see her not having any communication with anybody, not posting to social media or anything from 4 a.m. on New Year's Day to when the other ping was made on the 2nd. I think he got in her phone to see if anybody been trying to get a hold of her. I'm really surprised
Yeah.
he didn't reply to any messages or anything.
Right, because she has 3 children, hello, under the age of 6. So, yeah, Mama Bear is going to be, with her phone and not leaving her children. Yeah, no, I think that there was a family member that was staying there because they were inebriated from that night. And maybe that they went outside to fight, perhaps, and that's, I don't know why. And then was brought into that basement. I don't know.
Well, something for sure went down in the basement because that's where they found the blood. That's where they found the damaged knife. Now, one news report said the mother-in-law is the person that saw her. Then another news report said mother-in-law, but can't be confirmed. The mother-in-law also was trying to cover for baby boy in a way. So
that's what I was thinking.
I don't think they would take her word. I don't know.
Well, she's the one that loves him so much because he saved her life from her stroke.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
You can't save anybody from a damn stroke.
Yeah, well, she just thinks he's like the cat's meow, and that he is like the savior of her world. I mean, she puts him up into it. Oh no, he could never have done that. Oh no, he could never have anything to do with this. No. He loved her. She loved him. I was almost ready to strangle her through the screen going, lady, hello, open your eyeballs. You are maybe brainwashed from him.
But then Anna writes a letter to the judge after the art fraud and was talking about, how he's always down on himself and how he was told he was never good enough growing up, shouldn't have ever been born and everything like that. Then we hear about how he basically was defrauding his father's estate. What the hell is going on here?
I want to know how the dad died.
I'm afraid to ask now.
Yep, because you know what? He was defrauding the dad's estate. How did daddy die? At what age? And what, I don't put it past him going after dad's money so that he can pay off, whatever he had to.
And it sounds like Brain's mama sides with him over the daddy in a way. A big
exactly.
Way.
Thank you. Yeah, I think so too.
Big way. A big way. Speaking of being frauded, here's one of the victims in the art fraud case. I believe this is the guy that got frauded on the Warhols. Still can't believe he had the balls of a burglar to pull this off.
Few people have the kind of insight into Brian Walshe as one of the victims in his art fraud case.
And he spoke with 5 Investigate's Karen Anderson about what it was like dealing with Brian and Anna.
I was a victim of a scam.
Ron Rivlin is the owner of Revolver Gallery in Beverly Hills, home to the largest collection of Andy Warhol's artwork in the world. He's also one of the victims of Brian Walshe's art fraud.
I've bought over 1,000 Andy Warhol artworks, and he was the one and only guy who got one past me.
Walsh's charisma, expensive home, and documentation proving he had authentic Warhols satisfied Rivlin, so he sent his assistant to Boston with a check for $80,000.
They met at the Four Seasons Hotel in the lobby, and he treated her to lunch. She told me he was a nice guy, he's, dressed nice, seems totally legit. They were on my desk in my gallery the next morning when I arrived, and I knew immediately. I could see that the paint was fresh. I tore the back paper off the frame, the structure bar, and saw underneath that the canvas wasn't aged.
Walsh had sold him forgeries he had made in New York and sold the real paintings to another dealer. Rivlin reached out to Ana Walshe after Brian stopped returning the calls.
She seemed like kind of scared by the whole thing and said there's no way my husband would have done something like this. And she was the one who got Brian to call me back and work out a resolution. She was very kind and respectful, and I picked up on her being kind of scared by the accusation from my side.
But when Brian didn't pay him back, Rivlin went to the FBI. He has sued them both.
So he says Ana was kind of scared by the accusation because Ana is no dummy. And she knows if the feds get involved, because believe it or not, the FBI gets involved in art fraud. It's a big deal. And let me tell you, I'm no cultural attaché, but I could have told you the damn thing was fake.
Yeah.
I could have told you it was fake.
That's one of the biggest. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking, because Warhol's, that's one of the hardest ones to defraud.
I could have told you fake. I buy artwork from Hobby Lobby. I buy artwork from Hobby Lobby, and I could have told you it was fake.
He's an idiot. You know, and you're right. It is a federal thing, because I knew somebody here in town that did the same thing in Nevada.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. And he was in prison in Nevada for a long time. And he was a neighbor of a friend of mine. And so this guy, oh, yeah, it's a federal thing. I mean, and it's a big, it's not just a little slap on the wrist. So she was paying his legal fees and not, you know, and she was afraid.
Well, because she doesn't want to go to federal prison too.
Yeah.
I don't think she was aware of what he was doing until this guy called and said, look, I'm going to call the FBI. They have their own department that deals in art fraud.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fun. And you guys are married. I don't think the conversation was as kind as he is portraying now. Let's hear what it was.
Oh, but wonders what Ana really knew. But when Brian didn't pay him back, Rivlin went to the FBI. He has sued them both, but wonders what Ana really knew about her husband.
What if she wasn't in on the art thing, and what if she didn't really know who her husband was?
Brian Walsh pled guilty to the art fraud case and was supposed to pay Rivlin back what he was owed. But Rivlin says the day before the sentencing, the money disappeared. Walsh is still awaiting sentencing in that case. In the newsroom, Karen Anderson, 5 Investigates.
Where's the money? Because
well, he's getting it. You know where he's getting it from.
Where did he hide the money? Because the feds will raid the state, anybody, not just the feds. They will take the money out of any account associated with you. Where's the money? The money's hidden somewhere.
Good one. Maybe it's with his mother-in-law that loves him so much.
Somebody's got the money.
Because she wanted no part of that, I feel. Just my opinion. And I think that there was a big, huge fight over all of this. And slandering her name and getting her name involved with it. And then the children, you know, they're going to be going to school.
Well, let's face it, he had to go get a job in Washington, D.C. Boston is not that far from them. It's not like Boston is a tiny little town. They didn't even have a chance to seize the money. They do that very, very, very fast. Where did it go? Nani said his mommy probably helped him hide it.
I think it's the lady it's her mother, the one that loves him so much. I don't know why I feel like it's her, not his mother, but the mother-in-law that just thinks he's, you know.
Well, I wonder what his mother-in-law Anna's mother is thinking of him now, because I know when I translated and read the article, his mother, not his mother, her mother said that
Yeah.
when he sold the paintings, he didn't know they were fake. No way in hell did he not know they were fake. Like I said, I could tell you.
Yeah. But she is so delusional because she is so infatuated with him. He can do no wrong. They love each other.
But now I think at one point her mother was expecting to come to America to live. I wonder what happened with that, why she didn't. She's still in Belgrade.
Belgrade. I'm trying to think of where that is. I'm sorry. I'm not thinking of my atlas today. Where is Belgrade?
Serbia.
Oh, thank you. Serbia. Oh, boy. I'm wondering if the money is there.
Could be. Wicklow said he had them all fooled. Yes, he did. He did. He did. And I cannot believe, I'm waiting just for one person to come out and say, I never trusted the bastard.
Yeah, exactly. Who would come out and say that? But they don't want to get involved. They're like,
well, I'm just waiting on one person to say, I never trusted him. Matter of fact, I laughed my ass off when I saw him and I could tell he gained 100 pounds. I died laughing right in his face. Not one person. Everybody loved him until he screwed them over. And then they gave him every chance in the world to make it right. And he still didn't do it. All he had to do was give this guy his money back. He wouldn't have involved the feds. It would have been no harm, no foul, because people in the art world, not that I'm in it, like I said, I shop at Hobby Lobby, they don't want to be embarrassed by saying, I bought a fake Warhol. They want to keep things as clean as possible. There's a big, it's a status. It's a reputation. You can't have a gallery and admit to buying fake paintings from this dude in Massachusetts. And now he's on federal lockdown and you had to call the FBI. People will not trust you. But they give him chance after chance after chance, and he still screws them over right to their face. Here's another example. Here's some tenants of theirs. Look at this.
A couple who spoke with Ana and Brian Walshe often and noticed changes in their behavior in the months before Ana vanished. The couple are tenants who rented an apartment from the Walshes. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm David Wade. The couple traded texts with Brian Walshe after Ana disappeared. WBZ's Beth Tremano is live for us in Cohasset tonight. And Beth, they say one of the conversations they had was really heated.
And they say it was out of character and that the Walshes actually reneged on a promise that they could buy the rental unit. And now with the investigation unfolding here in Cohasset and beyond, they say their involvement with the Walshes now seems unreal.
I've done all the work here, wash and dryer for him.
Mike Silva says Brian Walshe and his wife Ana were more than landlords, but trusted friends.
Brian was very professional. He had me thinking he was an investor. He was always looking at the stock market.
A contractor, Mike poured thousands of his own.
Again, I thought he was an investor. He was always looking at the stock market. He's a trust fund baby. And instead of saying I inherited this money or I still get an allowance from my mom, he tries to make it look like he's the wheeler dealer.
Yeah, that's exactly how this guy that I knew was. Exactly, because he was an art dealer. He was one of the best. And it was like he just was a fraud. And you could see it when you go out and talk to these people. They're always trying to sell themselves, whatever they're trying to sell. They're trying to off something. And they are off in doing that, and so, yeah, it's creepy.
And somebody is holding this money for him. They're not just spending all this money. It's got to be going. Like just
I
me
think
said,
it's going to Serbia. Belgrade.
liquidating assets. Where's the money? Where's the money?
I think it's in Belgrade.
Like Lisa just said, big dummy probably said the tenants didn't pay their rent when they probably did. And who knows? He was probably telling Anna they're not paying their rent. I have a feeling Anna believed everything he said.
He had been playing her for so long. And she's like, I can't get over him wearing a friggin' ankle bracelet and being arrested for fraud. And I have to go through all this trial. And, if it doesn't go to trial, then, because he's going to pay them back, how's he going to get that money?
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, well, you know what? My wife actually does have a really hefty life insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe our kids do, but my wife is really the one that, he is cuckoo. I think that he did something like this. And the father, I really want to know what his father has passed away from.
I don't know what he passed away from. He was 74 and he passed away in India. I don't know what he was doing in India, and I don't know what caused his death, but Brian wasn't anywhere around him.
Okay, he wasn't around him. That's good.
That's a good one. Yeah, we can at least be happy about that. I just think that she believed everything he sold her until she didn't believe him anymore. She owned the townhouse in Washington, D.C. I want to say it was almost $1 million, maybe over $1 million. And I think she just got to where that 115-pound woman was tired of that 300 pounds on her back all the time.
Yep. Almost guaranteed. Because they need money to make that money. So he had been using her money and other investors or other people. So yeah, that's the guy is just a Fruit Loop. I mean, come on. He thought he was going to get this money to pay these guys back because she was able to talk to them and maybe, say, look, he'll pay you back, and then I think that they had a huge fight, and it was right then. She was telling him, look, I'm on to you. I'm on to your gaslighting. Knock it off. I'm not paying for you anymore.
Well, because something was going on. The tensions were high. Okay,
Yeah.
Ryan's 100% right. I almost forgot about this. She said, doesn't he owe $250,000 in restitution for the art thing too? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Now, she went to Belgrade in November and spent some time with her mom, got to see her family. Then she came back. She called her mom at the end of December and asked her mom to come visit. She wanted her to come visit like the next day. Her mom said, well, I can't until January. And she said, well, I'll be busy with my husband then, so don't worry about it right now. But it seemed like a very last minute request considering, well, her mom doesn't live just a town away. Her mom lives a continent away. Her mom lives, a continent away. So something was building up. Something was building up.
Wire transfers, money that went there. I don't know.
All of those transfers would have to have been done from Anna to someone else. If he did it, they would have nabbed him in a second. If he's in Atlantic City gambling, the feds would have been right there and nabbed his ass. He's already in trouble for art fraud. So all the wiring, he would have had to have had her doing it. Maybe she figured out he's setting me up for a crime.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah.
Setting me up for a crime.
Yeah.
He's pulled me into his sleazy ass ways.
Anna were more than landlords, but trusted friends.
Brian was very professional. He had me thinking he was an investor. He was always looking at the stock market.
A contractor, Mike poured thousands of his own money into this unit in Revere. He and his fiancee, Mandy, had been promised by the Walshes they could buy. But it all changed with a heated conversation December 29th, when the couple realized the unit had been sold for cash to other buyers. And they said Anna's demeanor changed.
It was out of character for the way that Ana was acting. She was being very protective. She was, targeting us personally and saying like she should have done a background check on us. She should have checked our credit.
Mike Silva says the Walshes owned a number of properties he helped with, like this one in Lynn, but was told they were recently selling off assets, which he thought was strange.
I'm totally shocked. I'm like, things that didn't add up was just starting to add up.
He had texted the couple wishing them a happy new year and finally got this answer from Brian in a text 2 days later on January 2nd.
Let's look at that message really quick. There it is on the screen. Okay, so he texts Brain to tell him Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Sorry for the delay. I misplaced my phone and my son just found it. So Brain gets a Happy New Year text on New Year's Eve. And 2 days later, because, well, he'd been busy at the Home Depot and visiting dumpsters. And that's what he says. My son just found it. You're telling me that you didn't need your phone for 2 days? This is also the same day that, this is January 2nd, that Anna's phone pinged. This is when he's decompressing and coming down from everything he did. And now we're in oh shit mode. How am I going to explain this 115-pound woman isn't around anymore?
Yeah, that he Googled what a rock. I'm telling you, dumb as a rock. Oh, I'm going to Google exactly how much her weight. I mean, come on. Scott Peterson. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
Look what Wicklow says on the screen. Sorry for the delay. I was busy mopping the basement. That's what he should have said. That was the truth.
Yeah. There you go. I'm telling you, they need to cut out that area of the concrete. I hope they do it. I swear to God.
He could have said, I was trying out various types of tape to see how they hold up. He just makes me sick.
Later on January 2nd.
Saying Happy New Year. Sorry for the delay. I misplaced my phone and my son just found it.
No mention of Anna, who was reported missing the next day. The couple says they had felt betrayed by the Walshes. And now with Brian facing charges of misleading the investigation and evidence uncovered at their home and in a landfill, they're not sure what to think.
I can't take that argument back with Ana. So I feel guilty in that I stuck up for me and my family only for this woman to go missing.
And they were told they have until May to find a new place to live, but now the future seems uncertain. And coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll talk with
That lady should not at all feel guilty for the argument she had with Ana, because Ana was only going off of what Brain told her, because Brain knows they have got to get some money. So they're selling their rent houses. He had it all. Beautiful wife, 3 gorgeous children. His mother lives not far away. He had it all. A wife with a good job. They own real estate. He got them into so much trouble. So much trouble. And look what he's done. Hello, Justice Jane. Hello, my friend. It's absolutely sickening. JPL, are you there?
I'm here. Did you just get my what I wrote on back chat?
Oh. Oh, God. As if the day couldn't get any crazier.
Right? Right? I'm like, oh, geez, Louise.
Kelly
After I-
Miller said, or he's sorry for the delay. I had to think of a good story as to why my wife went missing by me, and I had to clean up the mess I caused with it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's just disgusting.
Yeah. He keeps digging a sinkhole for himself. The more things that keep coming to light. I mean, this guy cannot really think he has a chance.
And like Copper Pedal says, how do you even misplace a phone? Come on now. It's 2023.
Yeah.
If you don't know where you left your phone, it's on the charger somewhere, you had it turned off, it's on vibrate only or whatever, someone else calls the phone for you. There's no way he was waiting 2 days and his son, was it the 6-year-old, the 4-year-old, or the 2-year-old, came across it? No.
Thank you.
No, somebody like him needs constant communication. We know why.
Right. Exactly. You know, his business. Don't tell me he only has one phone.
No. I have a feeling with that search warrant, I have a feeling they took out every electronic out of that house. Well, they did, because that's how they found the Google search that says, how do I get rid of a 115-pound woman?
What an idiot. God. Hello. Try and get out of that one.
Exactly, Ava. A lot of times when people lose their phone, they'll go get a new phone the same day. He had a phone. He had his phone.
Yeah.
His son didn't find his phone. No, that did not happen. That did not happen, because we know he can't go too long without talking to his own mother. He's not going to go too
Yeah,
long.
I want to know about his own mother too. What is her thing? Does she support him? Is she thinking he too is a sociopath? You know,
His mother has actually kind of covered up his lie, because he said he went to CVS and all these places, and that's the reason he's in jail, for misleading the police, because he lied to them about where he was going. So they had to do all this investigative work to find out he was lying.
oh jeez, what a dodo. And the mother, of course, is going to try and she's got to know what her husband thought of him. You know, when he said, my son, he said, I read this article that he said that his son was a sociopath.
He was diagnosed as one. He was diagnosed with sociopathic behaviors and something else, because I think this was in 2017 or 2018. I'd have to look at the article again, because it's just one thing after another coming out about this guy. And then when I hear that he under house arrest, now mind you, since he's been on house arrest, he hasn't moved off the couch except for to cook this elaborate dinner, okay? But the day she goes missing, he's got all these errands to run, my friend. He's got to go to the Home Depot and visit multiple dumpsters.
Oh my God. Multiple. Not just one.
And when Massachusetts State Police went to, this is the funny thing, sanitation engineers, sanitation workers have to keep pristine records. So when my trash is picked up, when it goes to the dump, they know it came from this area. They know what trash truck picks up what trash. So when they got to that first facility, they know that he had put something into that particular dumpster that went to that facility, but when they got there, it had already been incinerated. Where is Anna? Was she incinerated, or is she in the ocean? They found the rug, they found the hatchet, we found blood in the basement, we found a bloody knife that's damaged. Where's Anna? I don't think she went to any of those trash holding facilities. I lean with a few other people that said she's in the ocean.
I would have to agree. She is definitely God, I just wish that she had like she'd talked to somebody and said, something like, my husband, I don't know what to do with my husband, I know he's a fraud. I want to hear from some people that are like, this guy is I never felt good about him. He was a total, player type, schmoozer, gold chain salesman, just.
Well,
And did she know that he was a sociopath? I mean, was she okay with that?
I don't know. I don't know. What I wonder is how many of her friends reached out to her and said, "All right, girlfriend, I know he's your husband. I know he's the father of your kids, but what are you going to do? He's got a bracelet on his ankle that the feds put on. What are you going to do?" Because she has all these friends talking. A lot of people are speaking out, but they're kind of, except for the ones that he wronged, they all are saying the same thing. He could sell ice to an Eskimo. Great person. Here's the one where they talk about him being a sociopath, I think. Hang on.
12 days since she disappeared, and there is still no sign of the Massachusetts mother of three, Ana Walshe. As the search is intensifying for her, investigators are turning their focus to her husband's past. Court documents show that Brian Walshe was described as a sociopath and untrustworthy during a 2019 legal dispute over his father's estate. CNN's Jason Carroll is live in Massachusetts this morning for CNN This Morning. Jason, I know that they are basically going through essentially every part of his past with a fine-tooth comb. He's pleaded not guilty to a charge of misleading investigators about his whereabouts around the time she disappeared. What are they looking at right now, and where actually is he right now?
Well, right now he is in custody, state custody, where he will remain until we get more information about how that investigation is proceeding. You were talking about those court documents. After combing through a number of those court documents, Caitlin, there were a number of red flags there that we saw where basically Brian Walshe was accused back in 2019 of stealing money from his father and being prone to violence. As investigators are now in the process of testing items that could be connected to the disappearance of Ana Walshe, a clearer picture is emerging of her husband Brian and his troubled financial past. Court documents show he was involved in a bitter legal battle over his father Thomas Walshe's estate. Friends as well as Walshe's nephew alleging in signed affidavits the elder Walshe and his son had been estranged for years after Brian Walshe absconded with almost $1 million from Dr. Thomas Walshe. Court records also say because of the alleged theft, it required Dr. Thomas Walshe to continue working past the age at which he had wished to retire, as a significant amount of his savings were stolen and never returned. And that's part of the reason why these court documents say Walshe's father cut his only son out of his will in the years before his death in 2018. Despite that, Walshe took steps to take control of his father's estate while saying in a sworn affidavit he and his father had been estranged several times over the years, but says they mended their relationship. Ultimately, Walshe's legal efforts were unsuccessful. A judge ruled against him. But those same documents revealed more information about Walshe's past, including that at some point he had checked himself into a mental health facility. His father's friends calling him a sociopath, and court documents dated in 2019 saying Brian is not only a sociopath, but also a very angry and physically violent person. I want nothing to do with him. These allegations surfaced.
Angry and physically violent person. How could that have been hidden from Ana? Unless Ana did realize it and she'd had enough. And yes, exactly, Apple Pip. 1 million. Sociopath. Uh-oh.
Okay. This comes to mind. I still want to know how the dad died. Okay. And See, the guy wanted control of his dad's estate so he could siphon off money from it to pay his, he uses money in order to buy these things, and then he goes and he sells it. He'll buy it, to put on the book. I'll buy it, and then I have to sell it.
Gazing at the Moon said it was on another channel that she was having an affair. Now, I heard that several days ago. I wouldn't doubt it because they're having major, major problems. I just don't know it for a fact. I heard it was a police officer in DC, but I don't know.
Well, there again, that would be a motive. But also because she's his meal ticket. And does he want to get rid of the meal ticket, or does he want the life insurance money?
Mm-hmm.
Which one does he want? And he'll never have his kids ever again, so he didn't give a crap about his kids. Obviously.
He made his choice. It's called jail. That's his
choice.
Got
it. Yeah.
He made his choice. Jail.
Path, but also a very angry and physically violent person. I want nothing to do with him. These allegations surfaced years before Walsh pleaded guilty to federal charges of selling fake Andy Warhol paintings, the victim of the fake sales saying Walsh was very convincing.
He was very calculated, almost genius about how he went about things.
That troubled Pass only increasing the scrutiny around the disappearance of his wife.
He was genius about the way he went about things. Well, he got caught with the fake Warhols, and he's gonna get caught with this. I don't see anything genius about the fool. Maybe that's just me. Anybody see genius when you look at the screen? And I don't mean Ana.
He's definitely not a looker with his, physique lately. I don't know if he's always been like that, but she definitely, this all screams, heat of passion, and she had enough. Except for what she wrote that night is really interesting on that bottle.
What did she write? I haven't seen it, or I forgot.
It was something, and then somebody else wrote on the other side of the champagne
I'm
thing.
too busy looking at what Tara wrote.
I can't
He said
remember where I saw it.
Gotti from Wish, Alicia, and that clown hair. When I first heard about the hatchet, I thought he was using the hatchet to cut his hair. God, that hair.
But can you
Bloody
find
knife found inside the family home, law enforcement sources telling CNN a hacksaw and cloth materials with apparent bloodstains found at a nearby trash facility. The couple's friends say nothing seemed out of the ordinary during a New Year's Eve celebration, but now coming to terms with what could be the outcome they had feared.
I keep praying that in all these trash facilities, that she's not found there, and really so that, we do have somewhere to go to honor her, and for her children to have somewhere to go to honor her.
If someone did do something to Ana Walshe, in Massachusetts, the law does not necessarily require prosecutors to show a motive for a crime.
Prosecutors like to be able to show a motive. Again, I think it makes more sense to people if there is a motive, but as a matter of law, it's not required to prove a motive in most cases.
And Kaylin, obviously there is a great deal of concern for Ana Walshe's 3 children. Right now, they are in the custody of the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families. Meanwhile, the park where I'm standing right now, this will be the scene of a candlelight vigil for Ana Walshe. That will be later this afternoon. Caitlin?
We're thinking of her friends and family. Jason Carroll, thank you so much.
When I think about those 3 little baby boys suddenly out of their home, out of their bed, away from their toys, they're in a state foster care. I
Mhm.
really hope either the trooper and his wife that have the puppy dog or one of her friends can take all 3 boys because
God,
in these cases, the children lose every time.
yeah, yeah. He made those choices and said he, yeah, he did not give them a chance to grow up normally.
Mm-mm. You know, and they were, there was already issues in the house with, dad being on house arrest and mom
Yep.
working in Washington, DC. Now this. And I'm a boy mom. I have 3 sons myself. It breaks my heart. It just absolutely breaks my heart.
Well, was he a Mr. Mom
A Mr. Mom on house arrest, yes.
before that? Was he kind of, at home a lot doing his business, or was he?
Yeah, he had a lot of time on his hands, so he could be the, Mr. Mom, which I have no problem with fathers being the primary caregiver, but he had a lot more time away from the office because, he's just scamming art.
Exactly, exactly. But I'm just wondering if there were people in their house, like a nanny or anybody that had stayed with the kids.
From what I understand, they had that mansion that there was the attic fire, which turns out has nothing to do with this. But, when they lived there, they had housekeeper and all that, but when they moved to this place and they're renting like 5 grand a month,
Mhm.
they don't have any household help.
Okay. All right. So why did they downgrade?
Money. Money, honey.
Okay, that
Gotta
too.
gotta pay the feds, gotta pay the fiddler.
Yeah. Okay, so that they moved right after. Okay, so she was still paying for his fuck. I'm sorry, his F up.
JPL's throwing F-bombs. That's when you know
Sorry,
he's really thinking.
I don't like this guy. He's just oh God, he makes me want to just slap the smirk off of him when he was walking out of that. It's just he really made me want to just gag.
He makes me wanna gag too. How about let's do a positivity clip, and I'm gonna start winding this down.
Okie doke.
Let's
Yeah, positivity for your husband, please, please, please.
let's do a
I hope
po
it's okay.
let's do a positivity clip. Hang on.
Right on.
Year-old Navy veteran has now worked his final shift as a Walmart cashier after a viral TikTok video helped raise over $100,000 for him.
A customer in Butch Marion's checkout line had seen a couple of videos of folks raising money for Walmart workers who were in their 80s, and he took to TikTok to do the same thing for Butch. Watch here.
The one lady, she raised $100,000 for this woman, and now she's got another one going, and she just raised over $50,000 in 4 days for another 82-year-old. Yeah. Now imagine that someone raised that kind of money for you.
Well, that has happened. Butch Marion joins us now along with Rory McCarty, who posted that TikTok and set up the GoFundMe for him. Butch, I'll start with you. This is such an amazing story. How does it feel to have this done for you and to be able to finally retire?
Well, it's so overwhelming and it's so big. Here I go. And I can't even put my arms around it. To tell you the truth, it's so amazing how good people are from around the world now. This ain't just here. This thing went around the world. People are from around the world now. This ain't just here. This thing went around the world. And why was I out of everybody the one pick?
All right. Well, why don't you tell us that, Butch? Why was he out of everybody the one pick?
Well, I first want to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have pricked my heart to start this. But I seen a video earlier that day of a lady named Elizabeth Rizzo. She shared, an 82-year-old woman who she raised over $133,000. And I seen that day. Well, as a business owner, it's hard for me to find good help. I'm expanding. And so when I went into Walmart, I seen this man leaning over and working, and I was just blown away.
You thought if I can help him, I'm going to.
Absolutely. So the Lord just prompted me to get my video out, and I did.
Wow.
And I started videotaping him. And
$108,000.
Yeah, $108,000 in almost 2 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Butch, I'll ask you the question everybody's wondering. How are you going to spend the money and spend your lovely days of retirement now?
Well, I'm going to pay my bills off and everything. And I guess, I'll probably donate helping people just like they've helped me. And I guess this is national. And I would like to thank everybody around the world that gave me this. I don't know. I just can't explain it.
Wow. You're going to spend some of the money to go visit your daughters down south?
I am going down to Florida.
Been how long since you saw them?
It's been about, 5 years since I've been down there.
Wow.
And I'm going to do that. And I'm like a bird out of a cage now. And I go fishing.
Yes.
And sit down along the riverbank, maybe drink a beer of wine fishing. If I get a bite, I get a bite. If I don't, well, just let everything just go on by.
Well, God bless both of you, and thank you for your service.
Rory, it's the gift that keeps on giving because we're all smiling. It's a wonderful story. Thanks for doing it.
Hey, thank you so very much.
All right.
Hey, Sean.
Oh, that just broke my heart in a good way. In a good way. I saw Kane says she wants to snuggle him because she saw he has 100,000. Way to go, Kane. Slim Hauser said, I'd go fishing and drinking with him. Well, he's going to be in your neck of the woods. He's going to be in your neck of the woods. Got to have a feel-good story. You guys made me feel so good today. I got up. I was in a panic. I had heard about Muscles and Mascara in the hospital. Went into Discord and told everybody, Muscles is in the hospital. Went to the Facebook group, Muscles in the hospital. And I say it every day. I mean it every day. I mean it every single day. And you guys prove me right every day. Everybody jumped to action. It wasn't, oh, well, and they just threw up a bunch of, prayer emojis. What can I do? What can I do? We were, scheming and scamming. What can we do to help Muscles? Of course, Muscles says, I'm good. I just want to go home. Just that you guys are thinking of me. Just for everybody to jump into action. Well, then, lo and behold, what does my husband do but catch a trailer on fire as he's going 70 miles an hour down I-20? Here I go. I'm like, well, you wouldn't believe what happened to me. Everybody jumps in. What can we do? What can we do? What can we do for you? That's what friends are about. That's what family's about. I couldn't love you guys anymore. I know I haven't met any of you in person. Well, a couple of you. But every day I say it. Every day I mean it. You are amazing, amazing people. Amazing people. We need more of that in the world. I feel bad for these other people, guys. I feel bad for them. They're always in peril. There's always drama, 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 drama. Somebody's in the, someone's got their ass in the ringer. There's always somebody to talk about. We don't have that here. You guys amaze me every day. All right, so much for that positivity. Tomorrow morning, we'll be back to talking shit about somebody because I have a feeling these criminals never know how to behave, do they? They never know how to behave. We have enough drama with the criminals. We don't have it with each other. Nothing but awesome, awesome people. All right, guys, I'm going to get on with my day. You get on with yours. I will see you over in Discord or one of the Facebook groups. We're all glad that Muscles is home. My husband survived his accident this morning. Life is good. We're going to keep it that way. See you guys tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Be well.